Did you see that? A ghost.
Welcome to Paranormal Pentivity, a show about songwriting, ghostwriting, and everything in between. My name is Naeem Edwards. I am your host, and this is season 2. We are back in full swing on my lovely set. I love this set. But let's start this season off right. Do you remember when you saw that 2Chainz was collaborating with Ariana Grande? And the first thing that came into your mind, if you're not paying attention to music as closely as somebody else would be like, why in the fuck is Ariana Grande and 2Chainz doing a song? Why do R&B artists continue to go, or pop rap artists, go get rappers as collaborators on their songs and stuff, right? The reason they even ended up collaborating is because Ariana Grande's ghostwriters stole from 2Chainz. And what they stole was obviously the lyrics and the melody on her very popular hit song, 7 Rings. If you don't know what 7 Rings was, 7 Rings is that song that uses that Sound of Music, My Favorite Things melody. Dun, 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 dun. That's from the Sound of Music. That's from the My Favorite Things song. If you don't know the Sound of Music, then Luther Vandross, My Favorite Things, right? But they had that part, and then they had that dun 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 dun. And if you don't recognize that melody, that's from that I'm riding around, I get it. It's mine, I spin it. And that is obviously a classic 2Chainz song. I cannot remember if it was from True Religion or that was from that album that had the 2Chainz on the front of it. It don't matter. It's 2Chainz and we all know it, right? Just off the top of my head, I probably should have wrote it down. But her ghostwriters 100% stole from 2Chainz. No question about it. She didn't know anything about it. And the people who, and I think they might be on the same label, I'm not sure. But the people who deal with Ariana Grande on a daily basis don't know nothing about 2Chainz. I was telling Theo, and shout out to Theo Pacino, you need to go over there if you haven't. But people that is on this side of the culture, we think they're big and we think they're famous because all of us know about them and we see them all the time. And it's kind of like riding down the street and your mind is on is a Nissan Altima. So is your mind is on, like, fixated on Nissan Altimas because you want to buy a Nissan Altima. So now everywhere you go, your mind is hyper fixated on seeing Nissan Altima. So where before you probably never saw a Nissan Altima, now you're seeing Nissan Altimas everywhere. And you're like, hold up, I ain't never seen so many Nissan Altimas. And it's not that it's more Nissan Altimas out there or it's less of other type of cars or the cars just so popular. It's just that your mind is now fixated on seeing something because you're about to make a decision about something. Not that it's any bigger. It's the same thing over here with our artists. We see all of these type of artists. We see all of these kind of people, and we actually would believe that these people are famous or something like that, when in actuality they're just popular amongst us. When we step outside of our bubble, these people ain't really popular at all. And the only time other people really know about them or hear about them is if something crazy happened to them, if they get a crazy hit song, or they die. That's just the fact of the matter when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's not rocket science or brain surgery. It's just we're in our bubble, other people in their bubble. And this is how Ariana Grande's ghostwriters is able to steal from other people, because Ariana Grande bubble probably don't, her fans ain't checking for 2Chainz and nothing that he's doing. Not before, obviously, she had to come out and rectify the situation, because obviously we all know it's not no secret she don't write her music. It's not no secret that she is not, all she is pretty much, I mean, she writes and she does do some other stuff, but not really no more. So it's like she did not like she was getting heat. People was coming down on her. All y'all do is steal. All y'all do is this. And she has to take that blowback because the ghostwriter is not nowhere to be found. The person who wrote the song is not going to come out and say nothing and show their face. And how they even stole it was I'm just thinking in my mind, they was probably on some type of time crunch. And when you're on a time crunch and you're ghostwriting or you're writing for somebody, you usually will draw inspiration from other things and draw inspiration from other people. So there was probably a 2Chainz fan, heard the song, listening to the melody, and was like, oh, we'll just change it up a little bit or whatever. And unfortunately, that's not writing, that's sampling, which is a form of music, but you didn't write that. Even if you did change it up a little bit and slow it down, that's still sampling. You didn't create that out of your mind. So to rectify the situation, she just threw him on a remix because, you know, it's messed up, but he probably don't even own the song or whatever. So she would have been able to been like, okay, is the person who owns the song gonna sue me? And he was probably gonna be like, no, or something like that. You know, that's neither here nor there. Her way of rectifying the situation was bringing 2Chainz in and putting him on the remix. And he was like, you know, all I wanted to do was be acknowledged, which is, you know, that's a conversation for another time. If you feel like that's something that will rectify somebody stealing your hit, somebody who's already rich and already popular and already going to get a push that you will never get, stealing your hit song. So, you know, that's how that came to be. We are back here on Paranormal Pentivity. Thank y'all for being patient. My name is Naima Edwards. I will holler at you.
Did you see that? A ghost.